Hello, everybody. Today we're going to review fractions. We're wrapping up our fraction unit, and then we're going to do our fun craftivity. So I just want to remind everybody, and I think by now you know that fractions are numbers that are not whole. Not a whole apple, not a whole pie, not a whole cookie. A fraction represents something that's just part of something else. You can divide an object into equal sized parts to create fractions. So if you have a cookie and you divide it in half, that means you make two pieces, and then you have 1/2. Remembering that the bottom number tells us how many pieces there are in the whole thing, and this is how many of the pieces that we're talking about, okay? So let's look at a little something different for review, and then we'll come back and we'll finish up our fraction unit with this little craftivity. And if you haven't already printed out your robot parts and colored them and cut them out, then you can pause the video now and do that, okay? Great. We're just reviewing before we get ready to build our robots, and I just want to remind you, what is a fraction? A fraction is part of a whole. When we talk about something that's not a whole thing, then we're talking about fractions. And fractions, remember, whole things can be divided into equal parts, and those equal parts are the fractions. So if we look at this orange slice, we can see that each section is the same size. They are equal parts. So each part is a fraction of the whole. One of the very first fractions that we learned about was half. A half is one of two equal parts, 1/2. And we know that 2 halves makes 1 whole. It takes 2 halves to make 1 whole. Then we learn that a third is one of 3 equal parts. So here we have 1, 2, 3 equal parts. One of them is 1/3. And we've learned that 2/3 are 2 of 3 equal parts. So if we divided this section of the donut, the larger section, if we divided it in half, then we would have 3 equal parts, and the larger section would be 2 of the 3 equal parts. And we know that these 3 sections of apple, when we put them together, they make 1 whole. They've been divided into thirds, 3 equal parts. And when we put the thirds together, we have 1 whole. 3/3 is 1 whole. A fourth is one of 4 equal parts. So this blue section is one of the 4 equal parts, so it's 1/4. And we learned that 2/4 are equal to 1/2. It's the same thing. 2/4 is the same thing as 1/2. You can see that the 2 orange pieces of waffle are 2/4, but it's actually the same thing as 1/2 because the orange part is 1/2 and the yellow part is 1/2. And 3/4 are 3 of 4 equal parts. The red part is 3 of the 4 parts. And just like it takes 2 halves to make a whole, or 3/3 to make a whole, it takes these 4/4 to make 1 whole apple. So we've learned that a fraction is part of a whole. Now, the whole can be one item, like this one banana that's been sliced into little pieces, or it can be the whole set of bananas. What is 1/2 of this set of 2 horned-toed lizards? That's right, 1/2 of them is 1. 1 of the 2 is 1/2. Aw, look at these cute puppies. What is 1/3 of this set of puppies? 1/3. That's right, 1. 1 of the 3 is 1/3. What's 2/3 of the set of puppies? 2 of the 3. 2 of them is 2/3. Okay, what's 1/4 of this set of darling little kittens? Well, 1/4 would be 1 of the 4. How about 2/4? 2/4 would be 2 of the 4, which we know is the same thing as 1/2. And 3/4 would be 3 of the 4. So 3 of them would be 3/4 of the set. Okay, what kind of fractions do you see in each of these sets? Well, the set of crayons, I see lots of sets. We could divide that set of crayons in half, and then we'd have 2 halves. Each half would have 3. Or we could divide it into 3 little sets, and each set would have 2. The Legos, I see a set of 3, which means it would be thirds. The teddy bear, I see 2, which would make halves. How about the train? Well, we could say that there is an engine and 2 train cars, so there's 3 trains in all, so we could break that into thirds. Now, if you look at the middle train car right after the engine, it's got some blocks stacked up on it, and it looks like there's a blue, a green, a red, and a yellow. There's 4 of them, so we could break that into fourths, a set of 4 fourths. So there's lots of different fraction options on this page. And that is the end of our fraction review. All right, guys, let's finish up our fraction unit. You should have all the pieces that you need to make a fraction robot. If you don't, your parents can print it off. And if you don't have a printer at home, you don't have any way to print it, you could draw a robot. That would be great. And you can even draw the pieces yourself. Don't let that stop you if you don't have a printer. Okay, so first we're going to start here with the head. And this is the head piece. Let me move that in. This is, I'm going to glue it down on this. This is my head piece here. And my head piece is divided into what fraction? Halves. 1/2, 1/2. Scoot it down just a little bit. I'm going to glue it down. So I'm going to put a couple of drops of glue because I don't have a glue stick at home with me here. You might not either. Okay. All right. Put a little more back here. Definitely getting the edges and the corners. Okay. All right. That's enough. Doesn't take a lot. A drop, not a lot. And that's really true. Okay. And we'll stick it down. Okay. Then we need a body. Definitely need a body. So I've got a body right here. And I'm going to glue my body down. You know what I think? I think I'm going to put a frame on my head. So I'm going to put a piece up here and a piece down here. One whole long rectangle. One at the top, one at the bottom. Doesn't take a lot of glue. Yes, there we go. Uh-oh, slipped a little bit. Okay, there's that. Let's put the other long piece across the bottom of the head. glue on it. Doesn't have to be a lot. We don't need puddles. Puddles just make everything all wet. Takes them a long time to dry. Okay? Yes. So far, I'm pleased with my robot. He's looking good, or she, whatever it is. Okay, next, we're going to add the body, and we'll put that body right there. This body is a semicircle, or half of a semicircle. And this semicircle has been divided in how many pieces? 4. So each piece is 1/4, and it says it right there on the piece. Okay, let's glue our 1/4 of a body down. And again, we don't need just a whole lot of glue. A drop of glue will do. That's all you need. Come on, glue. This is some leftover glue that I used to make slime with Riley. Maybe Mr. Radcliffe would be kind and bring me some more glue. Okay, I got enough on there for the moment. Let's turn it over, let's put it down. I'm gonna put it right there. I don't want it to go over the head of it too much. All right, now I think I'm gonna add some ears. So these, thank you. These would be the ears. Okay, that originally was a whole circle. Do you see that? It was a whole circle that was cut in half, and they could have written 1/2, 1/2, and you could do the same thing. You could write 1/2, 1/2 there. Okay, but these are going to be our ears. I'm going to put a little glue on here. We're going to stick him down. We're going to put a little glue over here. Stick it down and try to get it at the same place. This one might need to go down a little bit. Okay, yeah, there we go. Well, it's still looking good. Ooh, it slid. Goodness. Okay, now let's give him some eyes. He's going to be looking kind of all wonky, I think. You're going to be looking up and looking wonky. So we'll put a little glue on this one. And we'll put a little glue on this one. A drop, not a lot. Oh yeah. He is looking kind of crazy. Maybe he's about to short out. Malfunction. Okay. Go. And now I think he's going to need a mouth. Let's find him a mouth. So if this were a circle, how much of the circle would this be? That's right, half. Half. 1/2. 1/2 of a whole circle. He's a happy dude. You can make him happy, or you can turn it upside down and make him sad, or you can shift it to the side and make him, thinking, Okay, all right, now I'd better bolt his head together. We don't want him falling apart. So we're going to use these little screws here, and they have been divided. Each screw has a groove down the middle of it, and each part is 1/2. I didn't lose one of my screws. There it is. We don't want it flopping. We don't want our robot flopping around. Okay? Just a little. That's all it takes, just a little. We'll glue it down there. We'll put a little on this one. We're going to glue it down there. Kind of doesn't really matter where you glue these. That's up to you. That's the fun part of this. You can color it whatever color you want to color it. We'll get one here. You need to pause the video while we're doing this. You can, or you can watch the whole thing and then go back and create it yourself. And you know, I always like to see pictures of your creation, so you'll just have mom take a picture of it and send it to me, or dad. Some of you have your dads sending you pictures, which is fine too. That's wonderful. Okay, now what do we need? We need arms. So we're going to use these pieces for the arms. And you can have them sticking in or out as short or as far as you want them to stick in or out. Slide mine under there a ways. Hope I don't get glue on the table. Okay, I'll stick this one on the other side. Don't need a lot of glue, remember. I'll stick it out, going out here, out this way. Okay, that's good. Okay, and yes, it's going off the paper, but that's okay. It's fine. No problem. No problem. Okay. Now we're going to give him some legs, which will be these two very long, very skinny rectangles. I'm sorry my picture's in the way, and I'm sorry I can't move it. On this particular screen, I can't move the picture of myself. Okay, and there's one leg. If I can slip it underneath. Yeah, I think I can. Yeah. And we'll put the other leg over here. Ooh. That was a glue bottle whistle. Let's see if we can slip this one under here. So you might want to be careful before you glue all your things down and not glue things where you want to put other things. And look, I got way too much glue. I should have reminded myself, a drop, not a lot. All right, and next, he needs some feet, robot feet. Okay, and there's going to be one. And this is another semicircle, and each part of that semicircle has been divided into what? Yes, halves. I have lost my other shoe for now. It's all right, you can't see where it goes anyway. Okay, then I'm gonna glue a hand on, and this hand will go over here, and it's sticking off the paper. And is that okay? Absolutely. Got a little glue on the table. Don't tell Mr. Radcliffe.
You'll be in trouble.
Yeah, I'll be in trouble. Okay, and I'm going to put a little glue. I'm going to put it like this. I'll put it here instead of on my piece. Okay, and then I'll glue this hand here like that. Out like that. That's good. I like that. Okay, and he's looking pretty good. He just needs one more thing. He just needs a body band between his body and his legs. We're going to glue this on, and then he'll be done. And he will help us say goodbye to our fraction unit. What should we name him? How about Robert?
Rusty.
Rusty. Mr. Radcliffe says we should name him Rusty. Rusty Robot. Except our robots aren't rusty. They look wonderful. Look at that. Isn't he cute? There's our fraction robot. And now you know a lot about fractions. I am so very proud of you because fractions are kind of hard, but they're fun. I enjoy fractions. I hope you guys have enjoyed this too, and we'll see you later. Bye.